Hey guys, welcome to the show. I hope you're having a great and awesome day. I just shocked Trey because he didn't think I was ready, and I'm not. I hope you're having an awesome time. And I'm looking for the button that I normally press. And
Where's that button, Jason?
I don't know, but I need to turn that off.
Yeah, you do.
Oh, sorry. Okay, there it is. There, I fixed it. Okay,
Check, mic 1, 2.
yeah. And then we
Probably pop our
press-
intro in.
I'm trying to find it. I don't know where anything is, Trey. Ah, there.
We've only done this 200 times.
Yep, here we go. Hey guys, welcome to the show. I hope you're having a good day. Sorry for me not having anything correct today. I'm losing it, but I'm awake. And Trey is here, which I'm excited about. I love me some Trey. And we're excited to have Derek here and talk about all the cool things he's been doing. And so that will be really fun. But Trey, let us start with the thing that we do every day that we do this show.
The question of the day.
No!
Oh.
Beatbox, you goofball.
Let's get it, go!
Okay, here we go again. I'm sitting here pretending like I really can't win, but I know that I won't lose if I can exhale, breathe, do the things I do. And oh, what am I gonna say right now? I gotta turn it up and then I turn it down. I'm not gonna run here, but now I do it less. You want me to take it, but now I got the best. I never see what they were gonna do, but now I flip it. You want me to understand what I came to rip it. Now I get it gone, cause I write a song. Looking back cause I got to overcome bass drums and melodies. My life ain't nothing but I can see everything that you want from me. And I'm tripping cause I still can't be. I gotta do it all cause I never see the fall. Waiting back cause I'm hearing the call. Get it gone cause I'm knowing y'all. Did you really know what I was gonna say? Oh, here we go again. I wanna flow and win. I wanna tell you what I'm doing again. Only if I could, but now I breathe it, son. I never knew what they were gonna say and give it. Now I'm waiting here, pretending like you're through. Now I'm trying to say that Twitter's blowing up, dude. And I don't even know what Argentina did, cause they won the World Cup and I'm still a kid. Like Messi's like, hey, but I go. But then I'm looking at the Cowboys losing down, yo. And I don't even know what the heck is going on in this world, cause the Lions gonna win the Super Bowl. And only if I can't tell you what I be, I gotta say it like forever I'm waiting, G. Then I'm doing them things that I came to be. You want me like this and now I go the history.
Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. Yep, flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you.
Jason, what are you doing?
I'm trying to find stuff to get things working.
Okay. All right, what's up, my party people? How has your all's week been?
Isn't it the time where we go, oh, that was a good prep, Trey? So I could do this.
Yes, because it is time for the headline of the week. I don't know if you were going to say it or not. Cool. Chase, you want to go first?
Yeah, so I got a bag of naked dudes, and they're going to make me about $150.
All right, we're going to move on. We're going to just move right along to our guest. We'd love to hear your height of the week.
I made a smoking dream gun.
A smoking dream gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Impressive, I know. What is that?
Mine is not going to sound that good then. I traveled around the world and got lost in a winter wonderland.
Nice.
Go ahead, Jason.
I feel like mine is just going to always be toys these days because that's all I do is buy toys.
Well, you know.
And so this last week, I found a giant bag. Probably it had 50 Barbies in it, but what it really had in there was a naked Tarzan, which is an original Tarzan from the first run, and an original Hunchback, and original, pretty much just a bunch of Disney Barbie action figures, which is not a thing, and so they can be those on their own or with the Barbie counter, which I have, are like hundreds of dollars, and so it's awesome. So I got a $6 bag, and it ended up being worth a lot of money. So it's pretty cool.
Cool. That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
It's always cool to find those rare gems.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
can
No,
repurpose
I wouldn't have known
as
about
money.
it until I started looking at that. So, but
Awesome. All right, cool. Well, do we want to save our guests for last?
yeah, sure.
Because I think we normally do that because we want to hear from you most.
Well, and his is going to be better than yours, and you might as well not make you look bad.
You know, that is not the right overlay. Cool.
Well,
Well,
I'll work on that too. Sorry.
no worries, no worries. So I traveled around the world. I basically went from the East Coast to the West Coast in 24 hours. One of my good friends basically got married this past weekend. He lives in Spokane, Washington, and they have a foot of snow there. And so I packed boots and I wore them. Thank God, because I would have been suffering. It was a very interesting time. I slept in 3 different people's houses because we apparently did not get an Airbnb, which I thought we totally were. But we ended up just staying at 3 other people's houses. They were graciously able to open their home for us. It was very amazing. We got to meet the creator of Dice Roll. It is a board game, and it's licensed by Marvel and a whole bunch of other companies. But he made this game. It's super cool. I would explain the game concept, but I don't have enough time for that. It's really cool. It's worth the money. You guys should go check it out. And it's not some mom and pop game. Also, the Winter Wonderland aspect, I got to go with my girlfriend and her best friend who came to visit in town this weekend across the street because Iroquois Park has this, like, it's called the Winter Spectacular or something. And they basically, for like a mile path, not a mile, but whatever, they spruce it up with Christmas stuff, and it's really cool. And they repurposed it because they just did a Halloween one back in October, and so they have been planning for quite some time for this. So it's really cool. That's my highlight of the week. I got to go see Washington, Denver, Colorado, and I got to travel in this Winter Wonderland scape with my girlfriend. So there.
That's
Boom.
nice. Your life is awesome, Trey.
I appreciate that.
Tell us about this smoking gun that you made.
I want to hear the smoking dream gun.
The smoking dream gun. Fair enough. Okay, well, for our next movie that CJ Goodwin and I are making, it's a Sherlock Holmes movie, and our Sherlock Holmes is older. He's facing many demons that he's had throughout his life, which would be kind of a combination of murders that he's seen, that he's solved and not solved. And if you've ever read through the Sherlock Holmes novels, there's kind of heavy drug use and alcohol use and stuff throughout those novels. So one way we were looking at the potential of drug use and addiction, and what would be some way going through drug use that Sherlock might use to kind of try to escape these demons some. And at one point, we were talking about how we would have Sherlock Holmes maybe smoke an opium pipe, and then these nightmares kind of happen. Well, as I was looking into it, opium actually just is a major depressant, and so it shuts your mind down. So whenever your brain is really active and anxiety really kicks in, and somebody that's in this place in life, right, with serious mental health issues, that has abused drugs and alcohol in his life, who's seen all these things, that has all these nightmares, opium would actually relax that. And so it would make everything go away. So trying to find an opium pipe is not easy. And
Right.
so I spent a lot of time researching to see what opium pipes look like, to see if I could build something. And come to find out,
And now you're on the FBI watch list.
maybe so now. But I'm not selling opium, so that's different. But just to see, well, what would a typical opium pipe look like? And honestly, if you can think of it, people have been making it look like that. So I kind of took that and managed to kind of decide how I wanted to make opium pipes look. So I made a opium pipe that works, that you can actually put tobacco in and you can smoke tobacco. So even on screen, we can give the idea of he's actually smoking something in this opium pipe, right?
Huh.
And it looks like a weird pipe, so you would assume it's not tobacco, right? So that was my smoking, making a smoking dream gun. It's also an opium pipe is known as a dream gun, or that's one of the slang terms for it.
Huh.
Thank you for letting me learn about new drug paraphernalia.
No problem, man. Anytime.
That's fancy.
Any other questions on drug paraphernalia you'd like to know about? I'm happy to look it up for you. I'm already on the list. So, you know.
I don't blame Sherlock because with the stuff he went through, right? I mean, he had to have some release. That's a lot. I don't know. That's a whole podcast in and of itself, but interesting. A smoking dream gun. Phenomenal. Well, Jason, it is actually my favorite part of the podcast. Why? I cannot speak English today. And I hope you're ready to drop down our nice little banner that you've made.
I'm doing other things
personally for the show because, drum roll please, it is time for a quiz. All right, cool. So this quiz is against Jason. It is against Derek. For those who are just now viewing the show, if you haven't already, you do know now that we do this every show. And this is where Jason and Derek will be pitted up against each other.
Well,
they will
I don't do a quiz against Derek every show, but yes.
Well, yeah.
I've never done this before.
Our guest.
I didn't
Our
know
guest.
there was a quiz.
That exactly. Well, I meant to send that email to you, but you never got it, and that's okay. No, I'm just kidding. There was no email. You can't possibly prep for this quiz because it's off the wall. So anyway, you guys will both get multiple choice questions, some open-ended questions. You will both get equal opportunity to answer any and all questions that I say. Whoever gets the most right at the end wins. That's it. We are developing some NFT down the road that we can give to our guests, but I don't know what that is, and I can't promise anything. But without further ado, we always go with our guests first. Derek, how many languages are written from right to left? Is it A, 8, B, 10, or C, 12? Right to left. So the opposite of the English language.
Yeah, opposite of the English language. I'll say B.
10? Okay.
10, sure.
I would say A.
Okay. Well, sadly, you guys are both incorrect because it's 12.
Oh.
But that's okay because that's just the first question. We are moving on to the second question. Jason, what is cynophobia? It is a real fear.
It's a fear of billboards.
Okay. Derek, what is cynophobia? This is an open-ended question.
Well, if you go back, like the
doing
first
good.
idea.
Oh.
Smart. He's doing a smart move right
Pretty
here.
good, right? Cynophobia, it's the fear of a higher power giving you a sign saying that you should do something if you don't believe in that higher power.
You know what? I'm going to give it to Derek. That's completely
Dang
incorrect,
it.
but you get the point. Correct. Congratulations, Derek.
That's a very good answer.
So cynophobia is the fear of dogs.
What?
It is the fear of dogs.
These phobias never have any,
No.
the first word doesn't mean anything at all about what the phobia is
Arachnophobia.
about.
That's not true. Arachnophobia.
Oh, there's arachnophobia. And there's a phobia.
Or
Or agoraphobia.
there's a stupid long phobia where it's actually the fear of long words, and the word is like this long. So
Yeah, I remember that one.
It's
Yeah,
an
the fear
oxymoron.
of phobias, I think, is you take phobia and flip it backwards and put that first, and that phobia is the fear of phobias.
Iabophobia. Anyway, perfect. All right, Derek, you get the next question. Which country still has shillings as currency?
Shillings.
Yes. Is it A, Kenya, B, Uganda, C, Tanzania, or Somalia? D. Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and Somalia.
Kenya.
Okay. Jason, same question.
Somalia.
Well, plot twist, guys. You guys are both correct because all of them
All
still
of them?
use shillings.
Woohoo, yay.
That's
Uh,
crazy.
Yeah, it's Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and Somalia, and they're all African countries, and they all use shillings. And I hope they're all in Africa because I'm pretty sure they are. I hope I'm not just saying that out of my butt. Anyway, so for the sake of this quiz, they are.
That's what that is.
You said what?
So that's good old-fashioned colonialism. That's what that is.
Yikes,
Wow.
that's messed up.
Yep. That's true, though.
All right, so Jason, which animal can be seen on the Porsche logo? Is it A, a dolphin, B, a cougar, or C, a horse?
There's a logo.
We'll say a horse.
Okay. Derek, same question. Is it A, a dolphin, B, a cougar, or C, a horse?
I'm going with the dolphin.
You said a
I'm ready.
horse?
Yep.
Oh, you said horse. Congratulations. You guys are both correct.
Hey.
It is a horse. Wow. You pulled that out of nowhere, Derek. That was awesome.
Yeah. I didn't get the logo.
Hey.
It's only all right, and this is for the final question of the day, it's question of the day, excuse me, quiz question, and this is for the Mansion Yacht. I know Jason's so far behind, and I wish he got one of the questions right. No, I'm just
Did I
kidding.
just I just got
you
one
did.
right,
I'm messing
right
with
now.
you. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you. What is dramatic drum roll, please?
You're
That
the
is-
beat
yeah,
maker.
don't do
I
that. Yeah,
I
don't do that.
understand.
Whatever that was, don't ever do that again. Which monarch officially made Valentine's Day a holiday in 1537?
Wow. Do I get to go first?
No. Demolition of the Berlin Wall separating East and West Germany began in what year? Jason, you go first.
Oh, come on. 1987.
Derek?
I was actually go with like 1985. 89.
Are you sure?
Yeah, 1989. I remember because I was at like 6th grade. It was a really big deal. It was on all three of the TV stations that we had at that time.
Wow, I'm really surprised you said that because that is the correct answer. Congratulations, Derek. You win the quiz.
All right. Woo!
And like I said, you'll be getting some NFT down the road.
Oh, hey.
Maybe. Don't quote me. We really need to create one. And honestly, it might not be that hard, Jason, because you have a whole bunch of people, a plethora of people at your disposal, right? That you can make.
Actually, Trey, I'm already ready for this. Give me 1 second.
What?
Here we go.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm ready to go. 1 second
For
here.
an NFT?
Yes.
Pretty sure everybody's making them today, so yeah.
Right. Anyway, so
Give me 1 second. I'm pulling it up now. Just give me. I forgot where I
You're
put
the
them.
horse?
So
as you're doing that, Dustin says, "Here we go again with the flow again." Ooh, okay. This is my
Nice.
roommate. He's in the other room actually. And then he says Iroquois Park for the win. People where I'm from say Iroquois for whatever reason. And then CJ, hey, what's up, CJ? He's coming in saying Romans always win. That's what's up. All right. So while you're doing that, Jason, I'm glad to have Derek on the show today. But why is he on the show today?
well, when I asked Derek what we could do for a better year, he didn't answer because I didn't ask him because it was a crazy time for me. Said what you learn now brings you one step closer to your dreams. Why, Derek, does everything you learn now can bring you one step closer to your dreams?
Well, all experiences make us who we are, right? And we learn from things that we've done, things that we've learned. So in my life, I've had different careers. Like I was an auto technician for about 10 years. I've been building homes for 12 years. I went back to school and I got a graduate degree in kinesiology. And so all these different things, you would think they're not related very much, right? However, what I've done today on this next film that we're doing, I am doing production design and wardrobe. And on production design, there's a lot of things that have to be built for sets, right? So my past experiences, I have very good mechanical knowledge of how things work. And if there's things that we want to do with buildings, with rooms, if we want to build different things that we need, props, we need them to do certain things. Well, because of my mechanical background and because of my building background, I'm able to put these things together. And as my experience as a general contractor, I'm able to kind of delegate different things, right? Find people who can do the jobs that need to be done and oversee that being done. And what's really interesting is that my scientific background is really helping me quite a bit on set design, but especially the wardrobe aspect of it. Because like if you're looking to set a film in 1890s, where do you go to get inspiration for your clothing, right? If you're doing a Sherlock
Online.
film, where
Online.
online, but for what, right? So how do you look at this, right? A lot of people would say, well, I'm going to go to movies that have already been done, right? Because there's been lots of Sherlock Holmes films.
Sure.
So where do you go, right? Do you go with a film that looks very, it looks Victorian, but it's very steampunk? It's what we think of Victorian nowadays has really gotten lost. It's different from what Victorian
sure.
looked like. So even if you go back to the older, like from the 30s and 40s, black and white Holmes movies, that would be England from that time period, right? Which we're talking about late 1800s. And so if we're looking at antiques and stuff from the late 1800s, those antiques would have been like late 1700s. Where we're using things that were late 1800s for antiques we want to look old. That would have been brand new during that time period. So my approach to it is kind of asking that question, well, what would Holmes or Moriarty or Lestrade or whoever it was, what would they have worn at that time? So what was actually available to wear at that time? And where was their standing in were they a nobility? Were they a common person? If they were a police officer, what kind of police officer? Did they come up through the force? Did they go through university? So what they would have worn, and then trying to find photographs from that time period if you can,
right?
Which is not easy to do. There's
Paintings.
Not a lot of photographs, that there'd be black and white, but they took forever to take. So people didn't just stand around always to let you photograph them. So what I've actually been finding was going to old like magazines of the time that were hand drawings and go and look at those to get inspiration from, right? Old photographs from the time period. We're looking at a bathtub. It's easy to say, oh, it's a clawfoot bathtub. It's Victorian. No, it's a modern Victorian styling. What did their bathtubs actually look like at the time? Did they even have a bathtub, right? During that time period, people maybe bathed once a week in a bathtub.
Right.
Generally, they had like a sink almost, but they didn't have a sink because they didn't necessarily have running water, right? So they had like a bowl with a pitcher and they did a sponge bath, right? So trying to kind of go through what people have done and what people have shown general, audiences versus what was actually going on. How were things done? How did people dress? And then going back to Doyle himself, if you can, has been extremely helpful because I've been able to find some newspaper clippings where people had interviewed him. There was a newspaper clipping where he was walking by something where somebody had a portrayal of Sherlock Holmes, and he said he never would have dressed like that. He would have dressed like this because he didn't want to be seen. But whenever you go through the novels, there's not always great descriptions, right? It's a Sherlock Holmes novel, so you would think there'd be descriptions of everything, but there's not. So some of that is the audience at that time would have known, right? Because they lived through it. It would have been every day what they would have worn. But we don't necessarily know what that is anymore.
Right.
And even people in London don't necessarily know what that is anymore. So that's been really interesting. So my life experiences to get you towards your dreams, right? You have to really kind of put them together, even though your life experiences may be just a buffet of different things, right? It's all useful to you, and you can use it for everything, and just always trying to apply what you've learned, your experiences. It may be a matter of you just have a really good work ethic that you've learned, and that may be what you've gotten from it, but it keeps you pushing forward. It keeps you going. And that's so important, right? Because if you give up, you've given up, right? Only you can keep yourself going forward.
Now, when you first started doing contract work and all those times that you had to install bathtubs, did you think that you were going to be like, oh, now I get to actually install one for a movie?
No, really, no.
No.
No, and where this is exciting, so I've built some really cool custom homes where people have had some really intricate things that they've wanted to do right in homes, and which is fun, right? If you're just putting in a bathtub, well, we put in bathtubs all the time. That's great. It's a bathtub. You need one. Ideally, you use it. But whenever you start to get doing custom pieces where it's like, just sticking with the bathtub example, where it's something where you have to basically make like a cabinet for it, right? To really kind of make it a focal point in the bathroom, changes everything.
Yeah.
Well, some of these things we take back. So some of the things, like if you would have been in London in the late 1800s in like a townhouse or something, that's what they would have had. That would have been just how they had supported the bathtub at the time. And so, no, I never would have dreamed that I would have been doing this in a set.
Yeah.
I always saw myself more, I did a lot of theater work in high school, and throughout my life, I've been on stage. I've done extra work in 2 Quentin Tarantino movies and a Robert Rodriguez movie in Austin. That was fantastic.
Wow.
You wouldn't.
Dude.
He just threw that under there. It was just like, I mean,
Yeah,
it's
just
extra
like,
work,
yeah,
but still. Still
Well,
pretty
like I
awesome.
said, if you blink, you wouldn't see me. But
I was never close to those. Yeah.
but yeah, so it's super cool. And so, you always, well, I say you always, we all have different aspirations throughout life. And, being in film was something that I've always wanted to do. But it's not easy in small town Kerrville to get out. And, you can audition for things up in Dallas. Everything is 2.5 to 3 hours away. And whenever you have a family, you have children, you have responsibilities, it's not easy to get away. It's definitely something that's easier to do when you're younger or when you're older.
Yeah. No, yeah. I said I live that life too, because it's like most my work stuff can be in Austin when it comes to music, and still it's not, there's not a lot of popping in San Antonio when it comes to music, but it's still cool and it's nice to be up here. But at the same time, it's like it's cool that you have the opportunity to go, and it's even better that now that y'all focus making films there. That's nice because then it makes your life easier.
Well, it's, what's really, and I wasn't expecting this at all. You would want to just go in and act and you're done, right? You go in, you do your whatever hours for that day, and you walk away and you go back in 4 days if they need you again. But to be able to really to bring out your own creativity with what we're doing today. We did it with Eyes of a Roman. I was able to do quite a few things where I was able to be creative and build different pieces and be involved with different things. And I'm really, I'm taking that over on our next film. But it's a whole nother outlet that is so enjoyable. Even if I'm not going to be on screen, I still get to watch it and I get to see what all I did, right? And it's a whole different area that I wouldn't have expected.
Now you just reminded me of one thing that I think is funny. Was it? Did you go? You went to the red carpet screening in Kerrville, right?
Oh,
For
yes.
the movie. And so was it weird to see, like, because Eyes of Roman shot on your property, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
Did you
Oh,
ever
wow.
think, like, was it just weird to like see your like the long shots of your backyard and just be like, this is crazy?
If you pan a little to the right, there's my house.
Well, luckily we weren't really close to my backyard, but
It's a lot of Trey. It's not a small amount of acreage he has. It's very
no,
much.
I know. Yeah.
yeah, it was actually, there's the ranch land that we have is so beautiful, and you can go to most places, unless it's like, around North Texas Panhandle where it's all flat, but you can go to most places in the hill country or in the mountains and just see beauty wherever it is. So of course, our land, I think, is absolutely gorgeous because it's our land, even though I can say that the neighboring land is also very nice. But to actually get to see it, to shoot it in a way to where other people get to enjoy it, I think is really important. And I really appreciate that other people, they don't know where it's at, right? They'll never actually go to that spot, but to still, we get to share that with the world.
What are spots that you've seen throughout the time that you've had the property? And it's like a good example. So the drone shots when they're chasing you, when the chase scenes of the drone shots are cool, but then the one spot makes me chuckle because it's definitely Texas, is the caves. When it pans out to those like beautiful caves, and I'm like, there's definitely nothing like this in Rome, but it was dope. It looks cool, but it's definitely Texas.
How would you know, Jason? You never been there?
You're right. I have never been to Rome, and I do not know. But
Well,
I definitely been.
So I can let you know.
Really quick. So Clarissa's coming in. She's saying Derek is the bomb.com. I am not going to butcher her last name because I do not know how to pronounce that. And Homer's coming in saying, hey.
What's up, Homer?
That's what's up. Sorry, just replay that. What has been the coolest costume design you've made so far, or the most challenging you've made so far, Derek?
Oh gosh. I'll say that probably the one that I've enjoyed putting together the most is for our Moriarty. Just to go back to, and it's not elaborate by any means, right? But to go back and look at, there was the original illustrator for Arthur Conan Doyle, I think, did like the first book, and then there was a Paget that took over after that. And he was the one who drew Moriarty, and his drawings are just intimidating, right? It's a black and white sketch, nothing super elaborate, but it's just super intimidating. And to look and see, to find that clothing. And so we even have a photo that we took of our Moriarty wearing that clothing, basically doing that same pose. And it's just, it gives you chills down the back whenever you see it, to see how good it looks and to see how intimidating it is in real life. I would say that so far has been the most fun. I really enjoyed putting that one together. One of the more difficult ones is actually Inspector Lestrade, because it's trying to go back and see. So he was in the police force, right? So what would he have worn, right? He wasn't a police officer, so he wouldn't have been in like the blues. It's like what we think was like the bobbies at the time, right? He was an inspector. He worked his way up. So what would he have worn? A lot of the illustrations show him and Dr. Watson wearing basically the same thing. Only now Watson was a military man, right? And Lestrade came up through the police force, so they would have been similar, but they would have had totally different experiences, and so the way they came up would have been similar, but they would have worn different things. So Lestrade has been interesting, I would say, just trying to get his stuff right so far. Now I've worked some on Holmes, and we have more to do on Sherlock Holmes. So I imagine as we go along, that will become more difficult, more challenging, but we're not there yet. So I say as of this point, Lestrade has been the one that's been the most challenging. And I think we're pulling it off. I think what we have so far looks really good.
Derek, I would have to say that is like such a cool gig that you have. Just being in the film world, because the closest I've ever come, when I was younger, in 6th grade, I took a drama class. And so, we did, oh no, why am I forgetting? We did Macbeth. We did, there was a murder mystery night. There was all kinds of different things. I played a freaking guard, and I had a fight scene, which was actually super cool because I had a giant axe. It was like a halberd that I had to deal with. And it was like this foam thing. But I think the costume design, the world, the setting up, the recording, all the shots, getting the right shot, acting, I think it's just the coolest thing about filmmaking is all of it, really. But I think what makes a good film is the actors and the costume design, because they can really, you feel as if you're either first person view or your third person view of what's actually happening. And you obviously get that role of costume design, and you are an actor in the film, correct?
Oh, very, very minor role in this one.
You're still an actor though.
Yeah, I'm still in it, but it's
No,
and it's a really, it's going to be an extremely cool piece. You know, my 3 minutes, but but yeah, it's a very small little bit role, but the production design and wardrobe, it's just, it takes up so much time that, you know, I don't want to take away from trying to really build a large character. You know, I can't do both.
Right.
Knowing your limitations, I think
Right.
I would say would be another thing that helps you to reach your dreams.
And the movie that's now on Amazon, which is Eyes of a Roman, right here, he is definitely the third most lines in the movie. Correct? Yeah,
I believe so.
Yeah, so yeah, he's fine. He just released a new movie, so you know I mean, the dude's like, you're like in the first scene of the movie, if I remember correctly. You're like right when the movie starts. There's this dude just talking his brains out.
CJ is saying, "Oh, his fallen angel piece will be tough." Haha.
Yeah.
What is he
We
talking
keep
about?
going round and round on that one. It's gonna be fantastic, though.
Phenomenal.
Fantastic.
Well, awesome. What has been? How do you feel when you see your inspiration inside all the films that you've been a part of? When you're able to see the screening and you see all the designs that you made, the pieces that are yours, what kind of feeling do you get?
Oh, it's very surreal, you know. I mean, I would say that we are, you know, or I am my own worst critic, right? I believe that's the same thing for all of us. You see yourself on the screen and you hear your own voice and you think, oh, that could have been better. But but then other people watch and like, that was fantastic, you know, and you think, okay, good. You know, I just have to quit listening to myself. I have to get out of my own head sometimes. But to be able to see things that you've, at least for me, that I've built, and to get to see how it was shot, right? How it was set up in the scene, and to see the impact that it makes, and to know that the scene would not be the same without it. It's very warming inside, right? You see, you know, I don't know, I get to see that, and it feels really, really good to see that you were a part of something and it played such a major role, even though it's not something that most people would look at and say, oh, well, would you look at that tent that was built there, right? That tent like really stole the scene. No, it didn't really steal the scene.
Right.
But it would not be the same scene without it. And it made an impact to make it look real, right? It made it fit the scene, and the scene makes sense because that piece is there. Otherwise, you would be losing something.
Right.
And it feels fantastic. It really does.
So now that yes, the Sherlock Holmes film sounds like it's going to be amazing. And you did just have Eyes of Roman out. Now, there are people that have not seen this movie. And here's the thing, guys. You can go rent it for 99 cents on Amazon. Don't get it for the more expensive version, but you could rent it for 99 cents if you really want to. You should check it out. It's 2 hours. It's awesome. I've already seen it. But, Derek, what would you say for people to want to go watch that movie? Why should they go watch Eyes of Roman?
Eyes of a Roman is a very good story that you can relate to today. As we were making that movie, we made sure that we kept the historical pieces together, right? Everything lined up. So the historians wouldn't say, oh, no, they didn't do that. That wasn't happening at the time, right? So if you're a history buff, it has something for you. But for today's audiences, it really hits home in a lot of different ways, right? You could take it from a child kind of rebelling against a parent. And as a parent with teenagers, I know exactly what that feels like, you know, even if you don't remember yourself doing that. But you can also see, you can put yourself in both roles, right? You can see Crassus and you can see Atticus, and you can see that rebellion there. You can take it to, you know, you can go political aspects with it, with people disagreeing on what's the right thing, what's the wrong thing, who's right, who's wrong, blah, 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 blah. But it's a very powerful story. To get to go and see this person question how he was brought up, to question the world that he knew, and to try and go out and do the right thing, to make a change in the world that was lasting. And I think it's a really good story to get to go and watch. There's some very powerful moments in the movie. I believe that we have some things that would not be expected to see in the movie, like the crucifix scene that we have.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how many
That
people
is
would have
well
expected
shot
us
at
to
the
even
end.
have that scene.
Oh yeah, that was crazy.
And the way we went and did that scene and went about that design was everybody is used to seeing like the Passion of the Christ, right? Where you have the big T and you have the arms out and it looks glorious. But if you go and look at the history, they wouldn't have done that. That was actually the easy way out. It was more painful to tie their hands on the post and nail their heels in place. And it just looks more brutal. So that's where we took it, because we wanted to show the brutality of that era and what was going on. And so we have more things than that in the movie that I think will help. You know, some people will be able to look at that and to see just how brutal that time period was, which, I mean, most movies, you know, if you ever watched Rome on HBO,
Right.
you see it was a very brutal time. But we wanted to make sure we didn't lose that when we made this movie. So we wanted to make sure that we had a little something for everybody in it. So I believe that everybody that watches the movie will really enjoy it and that it has something for everyone.
And for those who want to actually watch it, if you're not wanting to watch it on Amazon, CJ is saying come to Fredericksburg Theater January 7th and see it live with the cast and crew. And then speaking of brutality that you were just talking about, Derek, Justin says sheesh, and then he wouldn't have survived in Rome. I don't think a lot of us would have survived in Rome.
No,
Oh,
we
yeah.
would all, Trey, me and you would definitely be dead.
You know, speak for yourself, Jason.
Well, yeah, you know, that was a long time
They
ago.
would have fed.
By now,
I
you
would have
would
been
be
one of
dead.
those lion dudes being eaten by the lion. Be like, these guys would be fun to watch
In the
running.
Colosseums. Oh, if I was in a Coliseum, I'd die for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
If I was
I'm
out
talking
and about in the streets, maybe I'd be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not small dudes, so we'd have at least some kind of defense. But no, run
Yeah.
me against a lion, I ain't winning that battle.
Yeah, good luck. Yeah. Anyway, but
that's very cool. Now, one last thing I just want to mention, so Trey knows that that Derek has a black belt.
you have a black belt in karate.
Yeah, I have a second degree black belt in Shotokan karate.
Wow, awesome. That's sick.
Yeah.
How long did that take to master?
You never master it. It's always a work in progress.
Sure.
I would say, you know, the system that I went through with Hill Country Karate, we did a lot of different things. So we learned Shotokan karate, but we also did a mixture of jiu-jitsu and aikido and judo and
Wow.
Krav Maga. And the idea was that there is no, which a lot of systems would disagree with this, but there's no single perfect system, right? Every fighting style has something for you to learn from it. And so going through that, I mean, it took me 6 years to get my black belt, and then it took another 2 years to get my second degree black belt, my second degree on that. And a lot of teaching, you know, you definitely learn more through teaching, taught a lot of kids, taught a lot of adults.
Wow.
But what I really took from that, and I think that most people that have a black belt would tell you, our black belt, our last thing that we had to do to get our black belt was what we call a fight night. And so we have 20 fights that we have to do against other black belts, right? So we're incoming black belt. We're a brown belt. This is our last thing. Each one of the fights is a minute and a half. You would do 5 fights, minute and a half, as one person bowed out, the next person was bowing in. So as you bow out, you need to be blocking because there's a punch coming for you or a kick.
Oh, wow.
And then you have a 1 minute break. and then you do another 5 rounds. Then you have a 2-minute break, and then 5 rounds, minute break, 5 rounds, right? So by the time you get to the 20th round, you're dead, right? I mean, honestly, by the time you get to your 3rd round, you're dead.
Wow.
And then, your second wind kicks in, and the middle rounds, you're going. You don't realize you're not breathing, even though you're turning blue, and everybody around you is telling you to just breathe, breathe, breathe. And the whole point with them, with that system is that you don't quit. And if you get knocked down, you stand back up again. That's the only way you would not achieve your black belt, is if you were at that point, is if you were knocked down and you stayed down. And so what I really learned was how to take a punch and to get back up and keep going. I would not say I became a Bruce Lee or Jean-Claude Van Damme or Chuck Norris or any of them, right? I mean, you learn some techniques, you learn some things, you figure out, hey, I really don't want to fight anybody for real because it hurts and it's hard.
Oh, yeah. Everybody has a plan until they get punched in the face, Muhammad.
Exactly. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Or, like I tell my kids, don't waste your time. If you punch somebody in the mouth, there's teeth. That it cuts your hand open, right? They have a disease. Now you have the disease. Throat punch them. They go down. They don't get back up.
Punch him in the throat.
Punch him in the throat.
Clarence is coming in. She's saying Derek is legit. Dustin saying, if I was in a Coliseum, I'd pray, then just wait for it to be over. And then speaking of Bruce Lee, Dustin actually came back in and said Bruce Lee allegedly took bits and pieces of different styles instead of just adhering to one style.
Yeah, one of his mantras was to be like water, right?
Wing Chun?
Flow, or Wing Chun, was one of the big ones. But to flow around everything, let everything come in, and don't try to control it.
I wish
around it.
Bruce Lee was one of the greatest, easily, if not the greatest. CJ Goodwin's coming back in. He said, make Scout the rap about Sherlock Holmes in the Roman Coliseum.
That's already
fighting.
done. That's done. It's done.
That is perfect.
Yeah, done.
When we get to our rapping bit, which we probably should run into that, but yeah. So I think that's super cool, man. I took Taekwondo and I made it to Yellow Stripe, and that's it because I moved out of Oklahoma. I can still do a Upchiggies roundhouse kick, but it is very salty. Salty, not salty. What is the word? Rusty.
Rusty.
I was like, ooh,
salt
salty.
on metal makes rust. That's where I got it from. I don't know.
Wow.
You want to get back in it, man. You got that far.
Yeah, man. Well, I'd probably have to get back in the gym first, and I would probably want to do something about using someone's body weight against them because I'm a bigger guy, and I'd love to take someone down twice my size. So he said, make Derek rap also. I don't think we'll torture Derek with that.
He doesn't want that rap.
This is the time where you get to actually plug whatever you want, Derek. So it's your time to shine. Plug whatever you'd like.
Plug whatever I would like.
Yeah.
Yes.
What do you want people to know about? Where do they need to go to check something out that you have something to do with?
Where can they find you?
Yeah.
So right now, go on to Amazon, look up Eyes of a Roman, and watch it, please. Watch it and share it. Leave a review. Tell your friends and family.
Go to the actual filming on the 7th so you can ask Derek questions.
Exactly. That was my next thing is in Fredericksburg Theater, in Fredericksburg, Texas. We were going to have a showing on January 7th. And if you can make it, please come and make it. Support us there. CJ will be there. I will be there. We'll have other cast and crew members. Come ask us questions. We're happy to talk to you. People have dreams. People have aspirations. People just want to know, what's it like, or how did you start, or what's it feel like today, right? Come ask questions that you have. How did you, whatever. Other than that, you're going to see more of me as we get further and further along on Sherlock Holmes. We're going to be doing more little bits as we go, like just the creating of the story and the creating of the setting and the wardrobe, right? We want to keep people entertained, keep people interested in what we have coming on. And I mean, I don't know. I don't know when I'm going to be in another play again, so I can't really say to come and see me in that. But yeah, and I would say a big plug that I have right now is if you go on Kickstarter, we have a Kickstarter campaign for our Sherlock Holmes movie. It's Sherlock Holmes, Mayor of the Night, like the horse, a mare, right? M-A-R-E. And please, if you can, contribute, donate $5, right? Anything would be very helpful. And if you can, or you can't, if you can share that to everybody, we need to get this thing around the world. We have an amazing story to tell and a very creative, artistic way we want to go about doing it. It's a Sherlock Holmes story that has never been told before. We have a new villain. We have a brand new story, and it's really exciting. And it's a Sherlock Holmes that we believe Doyle would be proud of. If,
Wow.
If he could have written this story, he would have liked to have written it. But his fans wouldn't really let him. So, so please, the Kickstarter campaign, if you can go and help and contribute, please do so and share that with as many people as you can.
There you go.
Perfect.
I was trying to get to the Kickstarter campaign, but I have a bit that I've been prepping for the last hour, so we're gonna do the bit. So
That's what
here's
you've been
some
doing this whole time?
options. Yeah, that's what I've been doing. You're like, why isn't he listening? I'm definitely ADD, and I heard everything you said, Derek. I just,
Okay.
I'm like, please, it's gonna make hilarious cuts. Like people are gonna be like, this guy's not paying attention at all. So here's our first NFT option.
What in the actual? Is that your face on?
That is my face on a Sasquatch chasing you.
What the actual heck, man? Is that an actual NFT?
Yeah, there you go. I made this one. All right, now
Just a
then
picture?
I also added some family photos here for you. Me and my kids went on vacation. Here's my kids running from dinosaurs.
Oh my gosh.
Here's me and my son hanging out with Wally and Eva over in a future Earth.
Eve.
And then the last one is my son wanted us to go to Minecraft for a vacation. So there we are,
Beautiful.
hanging out with the villagers.
That's amazing.
There you go. And then there's some
Wow.
options for NFTs. This week I randomly just set I actually have to edit Christmas photos, and so I just started doing that. It
Oh
made me
my
laugh.
gosh.
And my son is sitting in my lap just having a great time. And he's like, it needs Wally in it. And it needs, I'm like, okay, dude, whatever you want. It's
Wally's a great movie.
yeah.
All right, sweet. Let's get this popping.
All right.
Derek, do you have a stage name or a nickname or something you would like to go by? Or it could just be your name.
Derek is good.
Okay, and how do you pronounce your last name?
Meyer.
Meyer, just like the store. Perfect. I don't know if you guys probably don't. You said what?
Like the swamp, the mire.
Oh yeah. Okay, cool. Jason, you ready?
Trey, is your echo cancellation on your settings?
Is there an echo?
No, but when I was rapping earlier with the beatbox, your beatbox disappeared.
One
Like
sec.
in your settings in the audio. Sorry, guys. This is very important to me making a good song.
Echo cancellation's on.
Turn it off.
Is now off.
Yes, please. Thank you. What it does is when you beatbox, it tries to dumb it down, and it takes off all your drums.
I
Also,
don't like
is-
that.
Yeah, I know. I don't know why it was on there. And is also your
It's weird.
automatic. Is your automatic mic adjust on also?
Yes.
Turn that off also.
It's been on for a hot minute though.
I know, but when you beatbox, it's terrible because when you get loud, it turns you down.
All right, sweet. Let's get it popping then.
All right, turn your also go back to the settings and turn your volume
my
up
gosh.
higher. I'm sorry.
How high?
I
Is this
want
high
this-
enough? High enough? High
A
enough?
little
High enough?
higher.
Okay, mom.
Higher.
Yes.
I'm at 160.
I want your beatbox to sound dope, dude. I'm just
No,
trying to help you
for sure,
be
for sure.
successful. All right, let's
sure.
go.
All right, let's get it on and popping.
Oh, so if anybody knows, I'm going to turn a rap into everything we talked about today. And yes, there will be Sherlock Holmes in the Coliseum fighting lions. It's going to be great.
And if you guys want to, feel free to throw words into the comments as he's rapping so that he
And
can keep flowing.
Yep. If you throw words in the comments, I'll put them in the rap.
Yo, we got DJ Sound Effects, Derek Meyer, and Scout the Psalmist on the mic. Let's get.
Do you want it fast or slow, Jason?
Go slow. Oh, okay. And here he is on the enter. It's Sherlock Holmes in the Coliseum. Now I'm not afraid of you, but if you cannot be Mr. Lion, I'm gonna hit you in your throat like T. And only if Derek told me what to do, bro. Not touching those teeth if I still don't ever know. But it's all in slow-mo, cause I let it all go. When I punch him, it goes, and it's like, oh, go. I've already knocked out 5 lions already today. You want to come back at me any other way? So then they bring some gladius coming straight for it. Only if I knew what I was gonna date and go it. Then I did a little kick, sweep to the ground. Do what I was doing, only if I can't sound. And I'm not Pretty Peter, not Peter Pan. And if I can't make it, cause I gotta just stand higher to the sky like I never really fly. Derek Meyer, only if he can't fly, try. Or like a Meyer Orange, is that a thing? I don't even know if I can ever scream out of control. Be Medusa looking at me crazy if I never be. Guess the dude's gonna be doing a thing later, G. With those little things in the air, I can never go. Got a little Tarsus, I think that's Doctor Who. I don't even get it, only if I can't see. But then I gotta breathe what I was doing if I be. Oh no, Tarsus is his character in the movie. I messed up, but only if I cannot be in the
Terrius.
movie. And yes, Terrius, that's Derek Stein in the movie. If he can't break it back and ferry me back and see me movie, now I mess it up. I didn't say see me boobies, only if I can't say it back. I'm gonna say you losey, But anyways, back to the time. Les Best is the dopest movie part of my best part of that movie. He's like a beast. He's like in every scene, like I'm gonna cross the sea, and I don't even know what I'm doing with chocolate ice cream in my hands, looking like a Superman with ivy. Now I got an ivy. If you cannot like me, I just want to rap forever, but now I find me one time. Now we gotta say that Derek B, he has this big backyard, and everybody's like it's in a movie, maybe 2 or 3. I don't even see what I was gonna do, but now he be, and he's a black belt, and he's like 6'8" or 9. I don't even know what I'm doing. I can't try. Only if the Ninja Turtles chilling with D. He's just like, this is what I be. CJ's having way too much fun with these words, Joe. We said like 1 or 2, not 25, bro. And only if I can't break it down, I feel low. And if I gotta say hashtag eyes of a woman, bro, go watch the movie. Go see him in the place. Fredericksburg, you can break it down in your face. And I know what I'm doing. If I can't go down, Trey's the best in this business. I feel it how. When and where must I stare in my underwear with tickle the wear. Only if I can't chuck nuggets over there. And now I love my nuggies. And my life is like a huggy when I'm looking for my people that I'm trying to say some on me. Now I got it down. T-Rex in the place. Small arms only if I can't see race. And yes, CJ Goodwin, I'm sorry I didn't say your name first. Only if I can't pursue it, I lose it. And now I'm straight done with the rhymes. I guess that's all together and I'm feeling the time. And I don't know what I'm doing if I go. Now I gotta say that I was gonna say I don't know. Now I gotta flow, bro. Cause I'm looking back, yo. More people added to the stream, so I had to keep rapping, yo. Sorry, Trey. Only if you can't see it, A. But now we got this time with the calf cramp. I gotta feel lamp. Drink that pickle juice, bro. You feel better if you can't let it go. And only if I know. I gotta say I'm done. Take it slow. And everybody stop rapping, my bro. Yes, I'm the fan of opera.
What in the world?
What was that?
That was my
Good
fan of the
stuff.
opera.
That's your favorite with opera?
Yes.
Good stuff. Derek, I hope you enjoyed that. That was specifically just for you, man.
I could tell that was fantastic. Thank you guys.
Thank you so much. That's so. I love rapping, but I love rapping when I can see somebody react to it. How tall are you, Derek?
I'm 6'4".
Yeah,
Wow.
Derek. Like that's the other
Taller
thing
than I
in the
am.
movie. He looks like a giant, like compared to everybody else. Because Les is not very tall, right?
No. I think CJ's like 5'2".
Yeah, so
So-
it makes Derek look like he's like this insane, like he's like some mammoth beast from the WWE of this mix. Especially in his armor, and he's just looking dope. He's really well.
It was the best part of the whole movie for me, honestly, was
Just
to
to wear
just
the
power
Roman
over
armor?
everybody else. Yeah.
Oh, that was fun. Yeah, that's the real reason you're not in the Sherlock Holmes movie, because it wouldn't.
Yeah, right.
It would be like an old man versus a big giant monster. That's not cool.
Yeah.
Well, Jason,
unfair.
we are running out of time. Let's go ahead and throw in our sponsors.
All right, thank you so much, guys, for checking out the show. Please go, if you're looking for a new website, go to nomadweb.design. They'll hook you up all the time, and with a great website. Now, if you're looking for a great birthday party and you want me or Trey to show up at your house and do some crazy raps and show you how to do it, hey, go check out flowsforyou.com. You can go to the Flows For You party, check it out, or you can go to, if you really just don't want to deal with Flows For You, you also go to hiphophouseparty.com, where we will also work with them and do shows with them where we do amazing shows in Austin and San
We were just at
Antonio and
ACL.
Chicago. And we were just at ACL where we performed in front. We recorded over 350 songs, 310 songs. Let me be honest. And Trey only did half of those because he was only there for half the weekend.
But it was a
he
good time.
Amazing. And so yes, please come check that out. Go to our website. Please help us pay for this show. The more things we can do, the better. So Trey, what am I forgetting?
Nothing. That was it.
Oh. Yes, I have this
Nope.
How'd that happen?
You got it. That was it.
But you didn't do the thing that you
Okay, fine. If you guys want to come on our show, please feel free to hit us up at flowsforyou.com. You can message us on there, and it'll send it directly to our inbox, or you can just reach us out on Facebook. Message us, Flows For You or Trey Stumberter, or you can hit Scout Up. And we need your questions of the day because we've kind of deleted that bit on accident. And we kind of want questions from you guys, our listeners, and not at
Twitter?
iGreenGod on Twitter, who we don't even know who the guy is. We're just like, hey, look, he's got great questions, and we use them. So,
and yes, we definitely will we will ask Les to be on the show because that would be great. He is amazing. And
yeah,
he's
CJ
been-
saying get less best
Yes,
on the show.
yeah, done.
Phenomenal.
All right, so now this is the time, Derek, for you to shine. You're gonna play Trey's therapist.
Terry,
Trey, you're gonna
yeah.
are you gonna get the music, or do you want me to do it?
I don't know how to access it, so it's got to be you.
It's just in the brand, and you go all the way down, and then there's songs.
Okay, phenomenal.
But just
I'll do
telling
it.
you. So no, I got it.
okay.
So
You'll
what
do
you're
it.
going to do is you're going to ask Trey 3 different questions. You can make up facts about his life, whatever you want to do, and you're going to ask him like you're his therapist, trying to make through the thing. CJ actually killed this last time where he did tons of like Dr. Moriarty, and it was very funny. He did.
No,
he was all on
I
theme.
was Moriarty. Like,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
he asked. I don't know, and I'm terrible with Sherlock, so like I just made everything up as I went. So
It was great. So here
Well,
we go.
we'll see how this goes.
it's not coming through the thing for some reason.
It's not.
It's coming through your computer. Turn it down. It's really loud.
It should be coming through my computer.
Just a smidge. Right. That's fine. That's good. Yeah, it's good.
All right, Derek, now you're going to ask Trey 3 questions and welcome him to your therapy session.
Well, Trey, welcome to today's therapy session.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, no problem, man. So I've noticed that throughout this podcast that you have continued to keep your screen very blue in the background. It appears that you're dressed all in blue, like different shades of blue. It's blue. You have what looks like a black light going around the ceiling and wall of your room. So what is your fetish with blue exactly? And how has that
Affecting your relationship.
and what are you trying to show to the rest of the world with it?
So, so believe it or not, it's purple, but I can tell that you would say it's blue because the LEDs don't do a great job over camera over the webcam because of my lighting problems in my room. But yeah, so purple, right? They say everyone's cells change every 7 years. So my favorite color became purple at one point in my life. And I had these purple and teal shoes, and then it was a cross between purple and teal, and coming together and having them be my favorite combination. But purple, it just feels like I belong in the color purple. I hope that answers your question, and I hope that helps the therapy session.
Sure, yeah. So would you like to give us a little bit more information about your fetish with shoes as well, and purple shoes? Like, when did this begin, and what was your first color of shoe that you really fell in love with?
Right. So it would have to be purple, and they were Supras. And that company almost died because K-Swiss bought it, and they didn't do anything with it. And now Korea actually has purchased, I don't know what Korean company purchased Supra, but it's back on the market. But they were called Supra Vaders, and they were purple, and then they had teal They didn't have teal shoelaces, but they had a teal backing to it. And they were my favorite shoes, super comfortable. And that's when I really was just fixated on purple. And everything should be purple and everything needs to be purple. And if it's not purple, then it's wrong.
So when did you first start stalking Supra shoes? Like to really learn the history of them. Like that's pretty in depth, right? To know when they began and when they sold and all these different
shit that
things.
nobody cares about.
No, so it's funny that Jason's joking about that because Supra is actually a pretty big brand. And there's actually a lot of celebrities that have endorsed the brand and made the shoe. I'm not making this up. Jason actually, he may or may not be a sneakerhead, but he's now a Goodwill head. So I'm not sure where a lot of his information comes from sometimes. Supra was actually a pretty decent skate shoe company. I started stalking them because I like their shoes, and I saw
Not 'cause
this.
he can skate.
No, I can't skate to save my life.
Just the boards break when he stands on them.
Not that. How dare you, Jason? I'd like to see you on a penny board. So
We both know that would not go well.
yeah, the board would not go well. So
The wheels
the
bust, blow up.
I saw my first Supra Sky Tops in a Zappos store, and I wanted them really badly. This was back when Supras were still kind of a thing. And I know they're coming back, but they just looked different, and I liked them, and they were big, and they looked comfortable. And so I decided to stock them to see what their market was and what their stocks were. And I actually was the main reason why Supra is now almost out of business, because I bought their entire stock. And it's
It's
all in
actually-
these two closets right here.
We're gonna be coming out with their new. This is the problem. This is a terrible investment for Supra. Their next famous sponsors are gonna be Flows for You. So they have a whole Flows Through line of clothes, which is great for them, but great for us. But nobody's gonna buy them. I don't know why we did that.
These are the Supra skate methods, by the way. They are stupid comfortable. And this is the logo. It's a crown.
I did not realize that we were gonna make a full Supra commercial.
Hey, you
Oh,
know what,
no,
Supra?
that's
If
just
you
reading about-
if
You
you
know what's funny?
sponsor me, Supra, oh my gosh, I'll come out and show everybody, all the world that.
We have no problem doing an episode every single week about Supra. We sell out very easily, guys. It's
Well,
not,
Derek-
we're very low budget for us.
I hope those questions, I hope those were answers to your questions. I hope they're adequate, and I hope that this helped during my therapy session, because I need help, and just like everybody else.
Yeah, I hope it helps you, and more people, probably have more questions. But thank you for
Perfect.
playing along.
Of course, man. No, it was pretty
That's actually
fun.
the
It was
most
funny.
realistic one that we've ever had, Trey.
Well,
Like, we're dealing
There
with
was-
Trey's real issues.
whatever. I don't think purple's an issue.
Hey, no. If you like it, you like, but you like what you like.
Speaking of Trey, did you ever receive the jersey?
I did, yeah.
Oh,
Did I call you?
No, you haven't even mentioned it.
Yeah, it's good. It fits. It's.
Oh,
I
awesome.
need to lose some weight, but it
Yeah,
fits.
mine's the same way. I'm like very snug.
I'm like,
Very snug. Yeah, this is not a regular. This is like I should have got a 4X and you should have got a 3X.
well,
So,
it's all good.
Yeah. That's what it is.
Derek, thank you so much for hopping on the show, bro. You've been an amazing guest. I hope you had a good time, and I hope somehow the plug that you had gets you some outlet to some other people that didn't even know you existed.
Thank
So,
you. Yeah.
and those guys are missing out because this guy's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Derek. We really appreciate it. Thank you, Trey, for always being here. And make sure y'all come back next week. We are everywhere you check where podcasts are, and we're live on YouTube, Twitch, and this place, Facebook. And please come check us out if you're listening to the show on Spotify or wherever you
Yikes.
listen to podcasts.
Anchor.
Make sure you come check us out live most of the time at 5 p.m. CST on Mondays, but it changes because Trey's awesome. And it'll be fine. My daughter's now sad, and we gotta go. So have an awesome day, guys. And
Derek, feel free to stay on after the show. If not, if you have to go, we understand. So,
yeah, talk to us. So I'm gonna press the button now, Trey. I promise.
All right. Well, I don't. Okay. Flows for you.
It's what we do now. It's what we do.
The word is this. All right.
My
push
daughter
it, hit
died
it,
in the background.
Hit it. Hit the button.
Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. Yep, flows to you, flows to you. This is